Hello everyone and welcome to the Bantamweight Boxing YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm back on my own today. Not a podcast for you, something slightly different actually. I'm going to do my live reaction to the Deontay Wilder vs Tyson Fury press conference. Now, I've decided to do this because there's been a lot of talk about it on social media. People getting crazy about it. Apparently there was nearly a fight at the end or whatever. So I thought it'd be good fun to get me in the mood for the big fight on the weekend by having a look at the presser and you guys getting my live reaction for it. And, you know, you can't beat a bit of Tyson Fury banter. So we're going to go for that. So I'm starting the video now. Here we go. I'm probably going to pause and play a few times and just give you my thoughts and live reactions about what the two are saying. Yeah, well, off the bat, Tyson Fury, he's looking the bollocks, isn't he? He's coming out in a WBC full suit, no shirt. He loves the topless. And, you know, looking sharp. So we're off talking. So far, no words from Deontay Wilder. I'm watching the highlights, by the way, thanks to BT Sport. So I think it's about 10 minutes long or so, and we'll see how it goes. And I should be able to get quite a good feel for it. So right now they're talking a little bit about Fury being away from home, which is funny because I actually saw a video of his daughter, I think it was, one of his young daughters, really crying like at a picture of him at home. And it really brought home a little bit about the sacrifices a lot of the boxers make, you know, not being around their family, etc. Oh, he speaks. Deontay Wilder is talking. All right, so we're not going to get a silent Wilder throughout this press conference. Okay, that makes it a lot more entertaining if it's not just one-sided. All right, so they're on to talk about the accusations. I'd love to hear what Wilder's going to say about this. All right, just have one of the best quotes I think I've ever heard. Men don't lie, women don't lie. Oh no, men do lie, women do lie, but the eyes don't lie. Yeah, I don't know who said that. It might have been Shakespeare or something like that, but it's just come out of Wilder's mouth. Brilliant. I also love the fact that he was saying that while wearing sunglasses. So I don't know what that says about you, Wilder, that if the eyes don't lie and you're not showing your eyes, then not looking great for Wilder, but Wilder's now on his phone, scrolling through his phone. I think he's looking for some comebacks, but we'll see. Right, Fury's on the assault now. I feel like I'm giving an analysis of an actual fight. It does feel like that. Fury's putting on the pressure, as you would say. Now Fury's giving us a little rap. Yeah, I like the interviewer actually. She's asking some fairly good questions. She's kind of putting it on Wilder a little bit, saying, you know, Wilder's saying I don't have anything to lose, and she's saying, well, isn't this actually your legacy? That you have everything to lose, because if you lose this fight, you know, where do you really go? Which is a fair point, and I like to see that, you know, they're not just giving them such an easy ride. I feel like Fury's getting it a little bit easier, but she's putting it on Wilder. Oh, Tyson Fury's mentioned Usyk. Didn't know if he would even mention his name, but they're talking about him now being the only undefeated heavyweight, which is true. Fury being the other, or you know, undefeated in the big kind of 5 or 6, should we say? Yeah, Fury's talking about the fact that he's still the last one standing. I'm just going to pause that for a second. Actually, he's talking about the fact that he's still the last one standing, being the only one without the still with, you know, the O on his record of being undefeated, and he's saying that he's done that despite being inactive, etc. But the only caveat to that is, well, the other fighters have been very active, so that's probably why they have losses, because, you know, they fought a lot of quite dangerous opponents. But it's not necessarily a criticism of Fury, but It's fair to point out. Yeah, they're now mentioning about like the mental health aspect, which is always nice to hear. Fury's giving a little piece now, talking about his struggles with mental health and all that, and that's always nice to hear because it should be raised on a big platform. It should be spoken about. So nice to hear that they've kept that bit in and they've given a second to chat about that. But so far, it's been fairly tame actually watching it. None of them have really got at each other. Wilder's not really saying much. Seems quite timid, to be honest. He seems quite quiet. I don't think he wants to give Fury any ammunition for then Fury to jump on him and tear him to shreds. So far, it's a bit naff. And I'm watching the highlights. So these are supposedly the best bits. If these are the best bits, I'm quite glad I didn't tune in for the whole thing. But hopefully this interviewer, I'm not actually sure what her name is, but hopefully she can rile it up a little bit. Right, now she's asking for their final words. So come on, let's get something. let's get some meat so we can all right. Yeah, Wilder is talking in riddles. Like, he genuinely talks in riddles. I don't understand a lot of what he's saying. He actually is rhyming some of his words, which are, I love it, to be fair. I do quite like it. Now Fury's looking on his phone. That's got to be a bad sign for Wilder. I think he's looking for some disses on his phone that he's written a while back. Oh, Fury's saying he's dying to say something. So hopefully we're going to get something a bit more tasty. Ooh, I like that from Fury. Great little point there. So rather than just going for an outright, attack or, diss or whatever you want to say, insult is probably the best word. Fury's gone for something a little bit more twisted, a little bit more, bit more of a psychological attack. He's posed the question to Wilder, if there was really a reason why... if it was really one of these excuses was the reason why I beat you, the glove gate, the suit and all of that, why after the second fight have you now changed your whole back staff, changed your coach, started training really hard? So he's posed to Wilder really the question of, you don't actually believe that you lost because of one of these silly mistakes. You got beat. And that's quite, psychologically, that's quite a heavy remark to make, because it's really making Wilder go and face the facts, really. Making Wilder face the facts and go, I beat you fair and square. And you know it. And I'm sure a big part of Wilder keeping it together was kind of believing his own illusion of, like, there was a reason why he lost, which wasn't his fault. One of these silly, I don't know, I didn't have enough water in my water bottle or some rubbish like that. So it's a good question from Fury there, really spicing it up a little bit. Fury's on one right now. He's piling in on Wilder. Yeah, he's calling Wilder out. He's telling Wilder, yourself, all these excuses were lies. So heavy stuff for him to take. And to be fair, it seems like it is affecting Wilder a little bit. His body language is really, he wasn't looking particularly confident the whole way through, but now especially, he's kind of slouched over, a bit quite timid. I'm not a body language expert or whatever, but even I can say he's rubbing his hands a lot. He's looking a bit uneasy. And I think his kind of team are looking like, let's wrap this up now. Let's cut this up. I'm done. I do like the fact that it's quite funny. Like, Wilder has hit back. He's said the same thing. You changed your trainers for the first fight. Doesn't really hold the same weight, but I like the fact that he's giving it a go. It's a bit boring before when he was like, you know, man, silence is golden or some crap like that. But, you know, he's meeting Fury halfway. And if anything, Fury looks more annoyed than Wilder. He looks fuming. He's like, he can't even get his words out, Fury. He's literally like, it looks like he's going to have a heart attack. He's getting so angry. If I got a pound for every time Fury said, I'm going to knock you Spark out. God, it's literally every 5 minutes, I'm going to knock you Spark out. But they're literally not even having a conversation now. They're both just rambling right at each other, both at each other's throats. Loving to see it. It's finally has come alive. I can see why there was a lot of talk now about this press conference, because they are at each other's throats. And Wilder's holding his own, actually, compared to the other press conferences where he literally looked like he couldn't even speak, could he? He is now holding his own. He doesn't look as rattled. Fury's going nuts. That suit is just hilarious. Honestly, if you haven't seen it, you've got to see this WBC suit. Wilder just likened himself to a nun in this sport. I think he's trying to say he's quite well behaved in the sport, but it's not really got the same kind of oomph to it. It's not something you really want to compare yourself as when you're trying to become a heavyweight champion of the world. I'm a bit like a nun in this sport, you know. It's not doesn't scare me particularly much. They've literally for the past 5 minutes or so just been, without taking a breath, just beeping, swearing, going nuts at each other. Seems like genuine hatred. At the start, it looked like it was forced a little bit and put on to kind of sell the fight, and that's what I was expecting. But as it's gone on, I think these guys have spent so much time with each other, and they're so different in many ways, that they really dislike each other, and they're really going at each other. Shelley Finkel has now gone over and whispered something to Wilder's ear, which looks terrible, because it looks like, you know, someone coming over and saying, mate, let's head out of here. This is we're getting showed up a little bit. So dumb move there, but anyway, I think this is going to wrap up soon. I've heard something about whether they do the face off or not. I think I saw online that they don't do it. Yeah, that's a big point there. A really big point from Fury, saying about Wilder's trainer. He's saying he saved your life that night. And funny enough, it's a horrible thing to say, but it might actually be true. You know, Wilder, was going to go out on his shield, it looked like, and thank God his trainer threw in the towel, because, you know, he's bleeding from his ear, just getting beaten up so badly. But that's such a powerful thing to say to someone, you know, like, your trainer saved your life, and then you went and sacked him. And Fury's saying you should reward him, which is crazy. Anyway, they're finishing up now. There's talk of doing a face-off. I'd love to see a face-off. Someone's getting punched if they do a face-off. That is just definitely happening. Oh, Bob Arum said no. He's cut it off. So it finishes up there. They don't do the face-off. I really enjoyed that. I'm quite glad I watched the highlights. I don't think I could be bothered to watch the whole thing, because it only really seemed to heat up right at the end. But yeah, really interesting. Really getting me excited for the fight now. I think they needed that little bit of build up just to get everyone into fight week and ready. I think it was a fairly 50-50 press conference, actually. I think obviously Fury's going to dominate it. You know, I would say it's more 60-40. But Wilder held his own. So good on Wilder. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed this kind of live reaction. I'm going to do a few more. But anyway, remember to like and subscribe. Drop a comment if you want us to talk about anything in the podcast or watch anything. It'd be great to get your feedback. So anyway, see you later. Goodbye.